Good morning, you guys. Actually, it's afternoon. I feel like I do that all the time. I'm always like, good morning, JK. It's like 8 p.m. I don't know. I guess it's like a thing, like good morning to you guys. I don't know. Anyway, it is 1:10 in the afternoon and I have had kind of an early morning, to be honest. I had to take Kyle to an appointment and then I was gonna stay out there, but I had a little mishap, so I had to come back home. And then I was feeding baby, watching YouTube videos, you know, doing the things. I didn't really have time to make breakfast, so I'm kind of gonna do that now. And I think I'm just gonna have some oatmeal. And sorry, I am wearing my blue light glasses because, like I said, I've been watching YouTube videos and stuff. But like, they're really comfortable to wear, so I just like wear them. And I took a shower this morning, so my hair is like nice and clean looking, unlike it usually looks. So this is a great angle. I'm trying to grab my milk. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna make oatmeal. Kyle and I made like personal pizzas last night. Well, not personal, but I did a whole Trader Joe's haul, and then like an idiot I deleted all of the footage. But we just got like Trader Joe's pizza sauce. It comes in like a little round container. It's like this big. And we also got some pre-made pizza dough, like rounds. They were probably like yay big. In the frozen section there, it's in like a green plastic package, and there's 2 pizza crusts in there. So perfect if you and someone else wants to make your own pizza, or you know, whatever. There's 2 in there, so that's kind of nice. And they take like it says on the thing 6 to 7 minutes. I guess it depends on your oven really, but it took like 8 minutes for us to get it a little more crispy on the edges. So yeah, but they turned out really good. I just put like pepperoni on mine, and Kyle did a 3 meat. He did pepperoni, ham, and Canadian bacon, which I feel like Canadian bacon or ham are practically the same thing. But some people might highly disagree with that statement, but I don't know. I feel like they're the same thing. I don't really eat either of them, so I really don't have much to say, but whatever. But they turned out really good. We shredded fresh mozzarella cheese, which is really good, and now we have the rest of the little block or whatever in a container, and it's really tempting not to eat it because mozzarella cheese is just really good. Anyway, I'm gonna make my oatmeal, and I'm just doing instant oatmeal. I'm doing this is like super backlit. Maybe I'll put it right here. That's a little bit better. I'm just doing the Quaker maple brown sugar one, and I just have it in this glass bowl. I actually got this from the Goodwill for like $2. It's a Pyrex brand. Made in USA. There, you can fit 4 cups in here. That's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing the maple brown sugar flavor, and I mix it with just original almond milk. I don't like to use water, so pour that in my bowl. I feel like when you make it in a glass bowl, it like makes it taste better, because like I have other bowls that aren't glass, and it makes the consistency really weird. It like overcooks it somehow or something, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just like when they put their liquid in their instant oatmeal, they just kind of like pour it directly in the bowl, but I don't do that. I actually like measure it to the line. Actually, I measure it to like right here. I don't measure it all the way up because I like my oatmeal a little bit thick. I don't like it really runny. So I just pour that in, and like I said, I'm using just original almond milk, the Silk brand. I don't like the other brand. I can't think of what it is at this current moment, but I prefer Silk. Just gonna I mix it around a little bit too, like just swirl it. That way a lot of it gets covered, and then I stick it in for 2 minutos. And today I think I'm just gonna put peanut butter in there. I should cut up an apple because my apples are probably gonna go bad. I actually got like a I went to a pumpkin patch a couple weekends ago with my mom and Kyle and baby. His name is Carter. I don't know why I always call him baby, but anyway. We all went to the pumpkin patch and they had like big bags of apples for $5. Like, it wasn't by the pound or anything, it was just $5 for a big bag of apples, and my mom and I split it. And they're like really nice apples. I'm pretty sure they're Honeycrisp apples, which, if you know, are like one of the more expensive kinds of apples. I don't even understand why, but they're like honestly one of the best. Honeycrisps, Galas are really good too. I like all apples really, so it doesn't even really matter, but Honeycrisps I really love because they're crunchy and sweeter. And yeah, I really like putting them in my oatmeal because I don't like just plain oatmeal. Like, sometimes I do just do peanut butter, but I like to have a little bit of something else in there. Like, I'll do like berries or apple, like I said. And I always put peanut butter no matter what else I put on top. So that's the tea on that. I don't think I really have much else going on for the rest of the day. This day is like kind of boring. I was gonna see if maybe someone wanted to like go do something. I know I have to get a few things from the store, so I might go to Target later. But I don't know, I'm not really feeling that great. And it's kind of like, it's a nice day. It's not raining, but the sun's also not out. But the trees look so pretty. Like, a lot of the leaves have turned color, and like they're falling all on the ground and stuff. So I think this time of year is really nice. And this is so weird. Like, does anyone else do this? Like, when they eat something, they like to use a specific piece of silverware, not like spoon or fork or knife or whatever, but like a specific one from the type of silverware they need. Like, to eat oatmeal, I always use a spoon, but this is my favorite oatmeal spoon. It's like kind of big. It's not like a little teaspoon, it's like a regular size spoon, and it has this like really pretty like design on the end. I don't know, is that weird? Probably. But this is what it turns out to look like. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen oatmeal, but like, it's not like super runny. I mean, it kind of is. Whatever, I'll still eat it like this because I don't want to re-microwave it. And then I just take like peanut butter, whatever you want to use. Almond butter would be really good too, but I only have peanut butter and cookie butter right now, and since this is already sweet, I don't want to add cookie butter to it. So I just take like a tablespoon. Yeah, sure. And I just plop it right in. Let's switch jars here. Oh no, this one's taller. Well, that's not gonna work. I guess I'll just put you right back on there. And then I just like kind of mix it around, let the peanut butter melt a little bit, get a little, you know, cream texture. I wonder if Carter fell back asleep, because he was sleeping on me for a while, and then I really had to go to the bathroom, so I'm like, how's this gonna work? And so I like transferred him into his crib, and he kind of woke up a little bit, but now he's quiet, so I think he fell back asleep. Anyway, that's kind of cool that he's taking a nap in the afternoon. It's 1:20 now. I've really been talking for 10 minutes? No, 9 minutes. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. So that's cool. I can get some things done. I have some dishes I need to do, which you can probably see if it wasn't backlit. But just imagine a sink with dishes in it. The garbage needs to be taken out, but I probably won't actually take it all the way to the garbage can. I might just like empty all the rest of the house garbages and just put it outside and take it later. I really need to do some laundry, but again, I don't want to do that if he's sleeping, because I don't want to have to get him out, put him in the carrier, you know, do the whole thing. But this is kind of what it looks like once you put peanut butter in it. Like, it just looks a little bit thicker, and it's really good. I highly recommend you trying it if you like thicker oatmeal. I mean, you could probably, if you like liquidy oatmeal, you could probably still mix this in. It would just make it like creamier, you know. Every time I film right here, it like gets out of focus. I don't know why. Like my face is right here. Hello, hi. Do I need to move? Because it doesn't want to focus on me. Hello? There we go. Jesus, that's annoying. Anyway. Yeah. So I'm gonna eat my oatmeal. Maybe I'll put you guys over here and sit down with you. Except I need something to put you guys on because this candle is not gonna be tall enough. I'll put you on a diaper box. Mom hack. Always got diaper boxes laying around. And we really like the Huggies brand. Well, it's the brand we found that, oh gosh, this is like tilting. That's not good. Should probably get that checked out. We like the Huggies brand, and the Huggies special delivery diapers that look like this are the ones we really like. They're super soft, super nicely made. They're, does it say? Free of parabens, fragrance, and elemental chlorine. Our best combination of softness and performance. Stylish designs. And I noticed these actually run a little bit larger than their regular Huggies, which is interesting. I think it's probably because what they're made of makes them a little bit thicker, but they're really nice. And they don't cause diaper rash or anything like that. Ever since we switched over to Huggies, he has not gotten diaper rash once. So, and he's been in Huggies since he was probably 4 days old. And he's 11 weeks tomorrow, so I don't know if that's a coinkydink, but I'm sure they kind of go hand in hand, using nicer diapers and whatnot. So I'm just gonna eat my oatmeal. And I was gonna maybe tell you guys like my birth, labor, and delivery story. I wouldn't say it's actually very exciting because I gave birth like pretty quickly, to be honest with you. But I guess since I'm eating, I'll show you guys. Or not show you guys. I do have a video of my delivery, but I'm not gonna show that. Anyway, so my due date was August 2nd and I gave birth on July 31st. And let me take these off because that's glaring because I'm sitting in front of the window now. But so July 29th, Kyle and I took a big walk around like our neighborhood, and it was a really nice day, a really hot day, a lot of uphill walking, some downhill, but downhill is obviously a lot easier to do, but a lot of uphill walking. And I swear this is what helped me to go into labor like so fast, because the rest of that night I was having like Braxton Hicks contractions, and then the whole next day I was having them too. And I was off work by this point, like I wasn't like going to work and like suffering. Not really suffering because it wasn't like painful, it was just really uncomfortable. And so I went to bed July 30th, obviously, like I normally would. And I was having the Braxton Hicks as I was going to sleep, but it wasn't so bad that I couldn't sleep. Like I fell asleep just fine. And then I woke up out of my sleep on July 31st at like 4:45 in the morning. And because like my pains were so bad, like I can pretty much sleep through anything. Like it doesn't really matter what it is, I will sleep through it. But this pain was like hitting me in a different way than pain has hit me before, that it woke me up. And so I was like, okay, well this is weird. And it was pretty consistent. Like I was starting to time it, and I mean it wasn't like every 5 minutes for 1 minute. Like it wasn't like that, but it was pretty, you know, fairly consistent. And so what I decided to do at 5 in the morning was get in the bath. So I did. And I was in there for like, I mean, you know, it takes time for the bathtub to fill up, but I was like not having it. I just sat in there when it was like halfway full and just let it continue to fill, because the warm water really helps me with my pain that I like have generally. So I was just sitting in the tub with the water filling up around me, and like I laid back a little bit and I started to get kind of nauseous. And I was fine beforehand, but then like it just hit me all of a sudden, and then I'm like, oh, this is weird. I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And then like 3 minutes later I did. And Kyle like shot out of bed and was like, what's going on? What's wrong? Are you okay? What's happening? What do I need to do? And I was like, I think I'm like having contractions, and I think we should call the hospital and like tell them what's going on and see what they want me to do. And a couple days prior to this, I had a doctor's appointment, and she like measured me to see where I was at, and I was at, I think, 2 centimeters. Fully effaced, I think, if I remember semi-correctly. Anyway, and so we called the hospital. They were like, yeah, come in, we'll check you. Depending where you're at, we'll either have you walk around a bunch to help you dilate more, or we'll just admit you and see where it goes from there. So I was able to pull myself out of the tub. I got dressed a little bit, and like it took me a while to get down to our car. Like our apartment's like right here, and the parking lot's literally right outside, but we have like some stairs to get down, and it like took me a while to get down the stairs, and there's only like, I don't know, 16 stairs. And then we had to drive to the hospital, which is only like 10 minutes from us, but on a Wednesday morning at like 6:45, 7:45, I don't even remember. It's like, it happened so fast, I don't even know. There's like morning traffic because, you know, people are going to work. So, and I was having contractions in the car as we were on our way there. Luckily, like I said, it's not that far of a drive, but like I was telling Kyle, don't go over the bumps, don't hit the bumps. You know, all those things that you can't really avoid very well. But anyway, we get to the hospital. I get checked into just a regular room, and then they check me, and they're like, yeah, you're definitely contracting. And she put the monitor on me. It was like, yeah, you're having some pretty strong contractions. And I was like, oh yeah. And she wanted to like put my IV in. And at first she blew my vein. Well, they tried to put it in like my arm right here. And I was like, ow, that kind of hurts. And she was like, oh, it's not supposed to hurt. So she took it out. And I was like, just try my hand. And so she put it in my hand, and that was fine. Because I've had IVs in my hand before. And so she did that. But I was still throwing up, like with all the sitting up and laying back and sitting up and laying back. It like still made me nauseous, so I threw up. I wasn't like throwing up food, it was just like phlegm and spit, you know? But anyway, she finally got the IV in and took my blood pressure and, you know, all of the things. And they're like, yeah, you're definitely contracting. We're gonna admit you to a room. We just need to wait for one to become available. And then one of the nurses came back a while later and was like, so we have 2 different rooms. We have one with a tub and one without. And I was like, I want the one with the tub. And so I waddled my way over there, and it was like just like around the hall kind of. Well, I mean, it was a good little bit of a distance, but it was, you know, just around the corner. But contracting the whole time. I walked there. I stopped like every 5 seconds, to be honest, because my contractions were like so strong and so frequent that I didn't really have a break. And so I get into my room. I get my bed all ready. And Kyle and both my parents were there at this point. Well, Kyle drove me to the hospital, but both my parents were there at this point. And so I had my mom draw me a bath, and I got in the tub, and I was in there for a good hour or so, and then I got out because they wanted to check me, and the doctor was there to like meet me and kind of not go over things, but like just say hello. And I actually had an appointment with the doctor that was going to deliver my baby before, because my doctor wasn't available, and she wasn't available the day that I gave birth either, so that kind of sucked, but that's okay. So they checked me and I was like at a 6 or something, and then I did not want to be laying down. That hurt so bad, and so I had my nurse run me another bath because I was progressing but not progressing like super fast, so I had her run me another bath, and I got back in the tub. And then when my doctor checked me, he actually broke my water for me, and that was like a huge relief. Like, that felt so good, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, thank you. And then they got stronger, so that moment of relief was like very nice. So then I get back in the tub after a few minutes, and I am just sitting there, and by that point I'm like really uncomfortable. I can't even like stay sitting in the tub, and the tub had like those strips in the like placed in the actual tub floor to where you don't slip, but they had been kind of worn down, so they weren't really helping me to stay sitting up, even though there was like the bar and everything around me, and Kyle and my mom kept coming in and whatnot. But like, I was uncomfortable and I was contracting so much and whatnot. And then I had my nurse, I felt like a lot of pressure coming down, and they're like, yeah, that's the baby, he's getting ready to, you know, come out and whatnot. And so I was like, can you check me again just to see where I'm at, if I'm progressing at all? And so she checked me and I was still at a 6. She's like, you're pretty much still at a 6, but almost at a 7. I was like, okay. And they kept asking me the whole time, like, do you want to try your epidural? Do you want to try any pain medication? Like, it's still available to you. And I was like, no, that's not my plan. I don't want it. Go away. And honestly, I wasn't really answering a lot of these questions because I was pretty mute. When I'm in a lot of pain, I don't like to talk. I don't like to say anything. I don't really like people being around me asking me a bunch of questions. So Kyle was kind of my mouth, I guess you could say, because me and him had gone over my birth plan, of course. So he was like, no, she doesn't want it, just let her ride it out. And my nurse was very supportive of my decision, and so were my parents. And they were like, okay, we'll just let you rest, we'll come back in an hour or so and we'll see where you're at, and we'll, you know, go from there. And so I decided I wanted to get out of the tub, and I didn't want to be in there anymore. I was like, my water was getting cold. I kept feeling more pressure, like, you know, right there. And so I decided to get out, go back into the bed, and I like called my nurse back, and she came back in, and I was like, I feel a lot more pressure. Like, I feel like something's coming out of somewhere. And so she was like, okay, let's check you. And so she checks me, and I'm at like a 9.5. And she's like, okay, well, you're about ready to push, so I need to call your doctor now. Sorry if this spoon's like annoying. She's like, yeah, I need to call your doctor now. So she called him and, you know, was like, she's getting ready to push, you know, get down here as soon as you can. And shut off. Anyway, so she calls him, tells him the business, and so I started doing a few practice pushes, and I don't know, this was probably about like 4:15 in the afternoon or something. Mind you, I started having contractions at like, well, they probably started before this, but woke me up at 4:45. So it's almost 12 hours later. And so I do a few pushes, you know, my nurse is on one side, Kyle's on the other, and they're having me like hold my legs, because they had my legs up on the like little pedestals that they put up, but like you have to hold your own legs back so you can get the most optimal pushing position. So I do a few practice pushes. You know, it's helping. I definitely feel something happening. And I got like stuck in my throat. My doctor finally comes in and he checks me. He's like, yep, you're at a 10. I can like feel your baby's head and he's coming out, and you know, let's get this thing on the road. So I start like pushing for real. And you know, it was probably like 4:30 at this point. And I'm pushing. And you know, 17 minutes later at 4:47, here comes Carter, just flying on out. And my nurse was like, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe how fast your birth was. Because mind you, I get there at probably like I got there at like 7:45 in the morning, I'm pretty sure. And I give birth at 4:47. So you do the math. But anyway, I think that walk that Kyle and I took a couple days before definitely helped, and being in the hot water so much, because I'd taken a bath in the morning. I took 2 baths when I was in my room, and I had like a really nice, really big delivery room. Like they were like, you're lucky, you're getting like the top of the line room. So that was kind of cool. I was told in my like hospital tour and everything that you do that my cat's peeing right now. My cat box is right there. Ew. Anyway, there's an ambulance outside. Can I help you? They must have gotten called. Anyway, not important. Did you see that almost shoot out of my mouth? Yeah, my room was really nice, but my nurse was like, I can't believe how fast you gave birth and how fast this baby just decided he was gonna come out and make his mark into the world. I was like, I don't know. And then all these other nurses came in, and then they were like showing me to who my nighttime nurses will be, because the nurse that helped deliver Carter was going off shift soon. And she actually wasn't going to be back till Friday, so luckily we were still there Friday, and she got to see him a couple days later and like tell me congratulations again and whatnot. But yeah, so I gave birth to Carter on July 31st at 4:47 p.m. He was 8 pounds 15 ounces, remember, an all natural baby, 8 pounds 15 ounces, and 21.5 inches long, which apparently is the exact same weight Kyle was, like exact same weight in inches when Kyle was born. So don't know what that's about. And his head was 14 inches. He's got a big noggin, but it's all that smartness he's got holding up there. But yeah, and now he's 11. He's gonna be 11 weeks tomorrow, and he's my favorite human. I love him more than anything else. And I love, you know, being able to spend my days with him and watching him grow and watching him smile and watching him learn and watching him, you know, do all of the things that babies do. And it's so much fun. And this wasn't a journey Kyle and I were planning on taking at this point in time, but I'm a pretty firm believer that things happen to you or things happen in your life at the exact right moment. And so I think having this baby was like one of the things that me and Kyle and like my close family really needed. And you know, we all love him to death, of course. My parents love him, Kyle's parents love him. They're just like in awe of him, and I am too. With every day that passes, I'm just like, time needs to slow down, because you know, you only get the day and moment that you have with your child or your significant other or your pets or your, you know, whatever. And you really have to make the most of it, because you're not going to get that day or that moment back. So you really have to cherish them. You know, I saw this Instagrammer made a post saying that time really does fly when you have a child, especially a newborn baby. Like, you really notice how fast the days and the weeks and the months really go by. So, you know, instead of worrying about taking pictures and like, you know, being on your phone all the time or always doing work. You know, really spend time with your child, be in the moment. I mean, honestly, it doesn't even have to really be with children. It can be with anybody, but just be in the moment, you know, smile with them, laugh with them, enjoy the time, because, you know, sooner or later they're gonna grow older, you're gonna grow older, and you're not gonna have as much time, and that's sad, honestly. But yeah, just make the most of the time that you have currently. And I know obviously I'm filming this video right now talking about my birth and not spending time with my child, but he's napping, so I mean, when he naps I like to just do other things usually, so unless I take a nap too, but it's 1:30 or something in the afternoon, and it's a little too early for a nap for me. Honestly, I don't normally take naps anyway, but yeah, that's going off on a different road. But anyway, yeah, so that's my birth story. He's the greatest thing that I've ever had, and I would do it all over again in a heartbeat, honestly. Like, I loved being pregnant. I loved everything about it. I had a pretty easy pregnancy. Like, I didn't really have any complications. I didn't have nothing, no issues. And I didn't have any issues with birth either. So it was just kind of smooth sailing for me. And I like don't really like to say that, because that's not the case for a lot of other women and a lot of other families. But I don't know, that was my story. That was how my pregnancy went, and you know, I'm glad for it. And it made me a stronger person, a better person. I have like all this new knowledge now that's I'm still learning, and I love it. Like, I don't know, being a parent is just so much fun. And you know, I wish it upon anyone that wants to have a family one day. It's so much fun. It's so like entertaining and so rewarding to know that you like made something and they're gonna form and turn into this wonderful human one day. And like, I don't know, it's so special. But anyway, enough about that. I have like 2 bites of my oatmeal left, so I'm gonna finish this, go check on baby, and I hope you guys enjoyed my birth story. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say, so I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.